Presented by AfterBuzz TV and hosted by Hall of Fame superstar Sean X-Pac Waltman, this is X-Pac 12360. And now your host, WWE Hall of Fame superstar Sean X-Pac Waltman.
Welcome to X-Pac 12360. Yeah.
How you doing,
back.
Sean?
We're back.
Yeah.
So, yeah. We took a week off. I was on vacation.
Nice.
So, sometimes I'm gone because of work, and last week was vacation.
How was the vacation? Nice?
Yeah, I mean, we didn't leave, we didn't get on a plane, but we went to Redondo Beach.
Oh, nice.
And there's this, the hell is the name of that hotel again? Shit. Slate? Anyways, I should probably know the name of the hotel. We stayed at. It was a neat little trendy hotel right on the marina there. And it was really cool because the balcony, it had this big ass bathtub, and I'm a big fan of taking baths.
Yeah.
And so, it was so great. Like just sitting out there.
That's
Bathtub overlooking the marina.
Wow.
Is that
doing my little
Shade,
thing.
Sean?
Shade, that's
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, I've heard of that one. I've heard it's great.
I was going to say Slate, and then I'm like, what? No, it's Shade.
Nice.
It's so good, Jeff.
Well, it looks
So good.
nice on just the photos
Yeah.
alone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, is that the bathtub that we just
That's
saw right
one
now?
of them. Yeah.
All right. That looks
Yeah.
really nice.
Yeah. The hotel room in the Bahamas, when you go out and it's not really a balcony, but you open up the sliding glass door and you can swim up to the room basically.
Jeez.
Yeah. Yeah. it
So
was pretty
crazy.
cool. Yeah.
The things people come up with nowadays.
So, it was nice.
Good. Let you guys kind of clear your heads a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. My lady, she works her ass off. She works hard.
Yeah.
So, yeah, she deserved it. Anyways, I don't know. We're going to talk about NXT Takeover a little bit. And I don't know. Is there anything else going on?
Well, I mean, there was a lot of wrestling this weekend, for sure.
Besides all the shit that I'm not going to talk about. on
Sure.
here. And I know, some people, when they want to hear me weigh in on certain things, and it just at this point in my life, I choose not to weigh in on controversial shit anymore at this point.
Yeah, there's enough hot takes out there.
Yeah, everyone has an opinion on it, and a lot of these you can probably guess what my opinion is.
Well, not
or maybe
only that,
not, but
Right.
I'm keeping it to myself.
it's wasted energy because in a few months or few weeks, it's going to be yesterday's news.
Sure.
But then people are always going to remember what your take on that was. And, nowadays people aren't happy with anything or they misconstrue your words.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so, and a lot of people listen to the shows that weigh in on that and give these controversial takes and, shitting on other things in the industry. And I'll take less viewers and less listeners and put out positive shit. So
I like that.
I know that might sound kind of corny or whatever, especially coming from me. I know it. I mean, I've never been shy.
Right.
Voicing my opinions on things. I just don't want to be the divisive one. There's enough fucking division in this world, not just wrestling.
Yeah, exactly.
Wrestling used to be the one thing where, I don't know about the one thing, but the one thing in my life where, in my world, where people you didn't even know, you would see people come to the matches and everyone would love it, have a great time. You didn't even know who that fucking guy voted for, or whatever, or what his stance on abortion is, or, not to, but you know what I'm saying? It's just, fuck, man.
It's different nowadays. Nowadays,
yeah,
if
it's
you're
just
not on the
different.
same team for the TV show, the person you stand, the favorite book you read, whatever it is, it's all these little topics where if you're not on the same page, you hate that person, or it seems like you social media is like that right now.
I just can't relate to that because my views on things, on several things, important things in life, have changed over the years as I've grown. Right. But I haven't always been as evolved as I am now. And I try if somebody's not quite where I am yet, I try not to shit on them or demonize them.
Right.
I try not to. Sometimes it's impossible.
Right. Yeah.
But shit. I don't know why I got up on that fucking rant.
No, it's good to know. I think, it's good to put that out there for sure.
I think that's why it's good to take some social media breaks every now and then. Because it's funny, because in real life, when I talk to people, I don't see a lot of the ugly side come out that I see on social media. I feel like you see on social media so ugly, and you're just like, ew, like this person thinks this way, like that's horrible. But in person, everybody almost is somewhat on the same page.
Yeah.
You know?
That social contract disappears when you have the anonymity of a screen. But
even if it's not like real, like anonymous, even if you know they know who you are, there's just this thing to where your balls are a little bit I don't mean to be sexist.
No, for sure.
But you know what I mean? Like you grow a pair, like just knowing that like there's no way that guy's gonna come knock on your door and punch you in the eye.
Right.
Or whatever.
Right.
Not to go like anyways, whatever.
All that is to say,
Yes.
We're going to be talking about NXT. We're going to be positive.
Yeah.
It's going to be good stuff.
Yeah.
Because it was a hell of a show.
All right, well, let's go ahead and go into it. NXT Takeover War Games 3. 5 matches if you include the pre-show. So much happened on this show. So a lot of really good stuff. I think that a lot of the people that we saw on NXT really, showcased themselves from like where they were at to main event people. But let's go ahead and start off with the Women's War Games match that started off the main show. What did you think of that? Because I personally thought it was the best match of the night, personally speaking.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I really, truly did. I'll go into it afterwards, but yeah.
I don't disagree with you. Like, I guess I never thought about which was the best match of the night, and I probably should have. It's just there were so many good ones.
In terms of most entertainment, I think, and so much of the different elements that they incorporated into this match, from storytelling to, to who in there had, tensions and were playing mind games, and like they gave all the women really great spots from top to bottom, stuff that happened outside
there were
of
really
the
good
actual
moments
cage,
in the match.
everything. Exactly.
Yeah, it was the better of the 2 War Games matches at the very least. I haven't thought about it either, but I was just thrilled to see Dakota Kai turn and get kind of the focus that she did.
So I praised the match on Twitter, right? Mm-hmm. It was too predictable. Oh, shut the fuck up.
Right.
But see, Sean, that's the thing. Okay, yeah, everybody was expecting the Dakota Kai turn, but the way that they did it was different. She didn't go out and still participate in the match and then do her turn. No, right off the bat, she did it.
But I guess instead of just doing my reaction and shut the fuck up or whatever, like I'm just being a bit of a dipshit when I say that. But okay, if that's your legitimate critique of that, listen. If you do, things have to be telegraphed in storytelling to build up the suspense of anything.
It's called foreshadowing.
There's somebody tweeted me something about what Alfred Hitchcock said about this. He's like, if you're telling the story and there's a fucking bomb under the table ready to go off, but you don't know what's under there, there's no suspense, right? But if you know, there's a bomb, is it going to go off? When's it going to go off?
Yeah.
All the greatest, not all, but almost all the greatest turns, ever, were you saw them coming a mile away. Yeah. Whether it was Mr. Wonderful, Paul Orndorff turning on Hulk, Randy turning on Hulk, fucking Andre turning on Hulk, all of them.
Sure.
And I'm using Hulk for this because he was such a big part of our.
Of course.
Well,
look at the MJF turn, the MJF turn that happened recently. There was some. I felt like that was pulled off really well, and it was telegraphed for a long time.
So, but you might not have saw it coming until hindsight, and then go,
now it all makes sense.
Yes,
yeah.
Yes. So, even things to build up, even if it's not completely obvious, but there's little clues along the way.
Right.
There's just different ways of doing it, but to shit on it because it was too predictable, come on.
Yeah.
It was executed perfectly.
Yeah, sure. I thought, exactly. The execution was, I thought was fantastic. Yeah.
I liked the additional portion where, William Regal came out and, she like shoved him because, he has like this, he's like an authority figure, a respected authority figure. So then for her to sort of like snap and, push him, I thought that elevated her. I thought that she really did her portion well.
And it seemed really spontaneous. It didn't seem like a work, like, okay, this is the part where you come out and you get...
Now you push him.
It was just, it just seemed like part of the schmaz and like, and shit just got out of hand.
Exactly. And I think she was amazing in that role, but I also think that Regal is such a good performer that he's able to sell that so much, when he gets involved.
I'm not just saying this because he's a friend of mine, but no one's ever pulled off that role better than William Regal.
1,000%.
The GM, the authority figure, the president, whatever the fuck you want to call it.
Right, exactly. That's why I wish he had gotten more focus in the build-up leading to Survivor Series.
But that's part of the greatness about how he does that role. It's not like, okay, he's just shoved down your throat. Okay, the opening segment, out comes Regal. Because... like, that was the thing about that general manager role on Raw and SmackDown. It was just like, okay, fuck, enough.
Right. It kind of overpowers the show a little bit. Yeah.
What did you guys think about the story between Shayna and Rhea Ripley, where, you have these two? I know, Sean, you're a big fan of Shayna. You said she was one of your picks earlier on. And, Shayna's always had this thing where a lot of, she had this real badass vibe, and you kind of was hard to imagine another female coming up and having that vibe. But now we're seeing that with Rhea Ripley. What do you think about that?
Yeah, and that's true. And it's more than just them trying to portray it that way. It's the people are buying it that way.
Right.
Like, you can try to push something on people and they're going to buy it or they're not.
Yeah, people can tell if it's
they
authentic.
buy her. Like, so, in a huge way. So, and it's not even, I hope they don't fuck it up.
Right.
It's not even, like, it's barely gotten started yet. So, when I was down at NXT last month and, they have it's called the Coconut Show run. It's all the local Florida. When they stay in Florida for their live events, they call it the Coconut Shows or Coconut Run or whatever. But so on one of those, she came out unannounced. She got the biggest pop, like of anyone on the entire show, and it wasn't even close. It was insane. I'm like, oh shit.
That's
like
awesome.
It's just one of those things where you go, this is an indicator right here.
Right. And it's wild that she's this good at this young of an age as well. Got a whole lot ahead of her for sure.
And I mean, let's be honest, she was blessed with some amazing genetics too here. She's a big girl.
Right.
Big, strong, like just yeah, you see her stand toe-to-toe with Shayna, and it's like, okay, yeah.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, you buy it. Yeah, exactly.
It's authentic, it's believable, and I think that's the main portion that I liked. One of my favorite spots during this match where they both had separate submissions going on at the same time, and they were both kind of like eyeing each other, like, yeah, you're doing it, but you know what, I could do it more. And so I thought that was, a nice little portion to those mind games and this power play of I'm the stronger woman, no, I'm the stronger, person.
Yeah.
And what did you guys think about Io Shirai? Because I thought she, the first portion of the match, I thought she did very well. She was very highlighted. She had the moonsault from the top.
Her and Candice started.
Yeah, her and Candice.
Couldn't have picked the two best. Perfect. I have a hard time spitting shit out. Well, not just today, but. Right. I was so happy when I saw they were the two that started, and they started off at a nice pace, not too like they were taking their time, but at the same time giving them some good shit, and just so good, so good, perfect way to start it.
I liked the idea where Candice was sort of, she had the whole, 2-on-1 for the beginning, the portion of the match. I like the fact that Rhea was the second person to come in because as team captain, if you're seeing your team member basically get torn apart on there, it's like as a team captain, you're gonna be like, you know what, I want to go out there and I want to kick some butt. And I feel when she came out and she brought the element of the weapons, it kind of really kick-started off that match. And so I thought that was a really good thing. But there was a lot of really good moments in this match, and I like the idea that it also became a 4-on-2, and I thought that was a really good element because I didn't realize that was going to happen.
Yeah, that was I hadn't thought about that when it first started, but yeah, between the attack, that effectively takes out half the team right there. So the stakes are raised almost right away. So yeah, and then just the high spots that we got in the match were, like you said, the moonsault from the top of the cage was scary, but she pulled it off.
Yeah, she's the best. Like honestly, like all around.
Yeah.
Probably the best right now.
Yeah.
Io Shirai.
Yeah,
of the ladies, and I mean not by a long shot,
but
because there's some great ones right now. But especially to me right now at the moment, probably the best.
Yeah, and in the NXT women's division, like that's high praise. Like there's a lot of competition for that.
Yeah, it's the best women's division in the industry. Mm-hmm. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with that.
I think so too. I think if I'm gonna start thinking about it, I think the second one's runners up would be, because Impact has been doing a lot of really good stuff with their women's division as well, and has been for a really long time. And Tessa's been killing it. And it's for me, it's people like Tessa and Rhea Ripley that sort of bring this different, or Becky Lynch, Charlotte, that bring this different edge when they go out in the ring, and it's this different energy, and I like that. All right, let's go ahead and jump into the second match, which was the three-way Damian Priest, Pete Dunne, and Killian Dane.
So, considering we started off with the women's war game match, that arguably the best match of the night. Mm-hmm. These guys had a tough one to follow, and it was a great match.
Yeah, triple threat matches can be tricky, as far as to how to structure them, and the easiest, the kind of, and sometimes the laziest choice is just two guys in and one guy out, you know? But they did such a good job of involving everyone and making it really feel dynamic.
Yeah, so if I have any small critique on it, I think they had just a bit too much time.
I see.
I would have taken a couple of minutes off of their time and given it to Riddle and Balor.
Sure. Yeah, I agree with that.
Because there was some moments in here where they let, I thought things... they breathed.
Yeah.
Just a little bit too long for me.
And I think for anyone that listened to or watched our interview with Damian Priest from a couple weeks ago, we talked about how adaptable he is to people of different kind of sizes and styles. And one of the things I loved about this is that all three men are such different sizes and styles, and they still were able to meld in a really entertaining way.
Yeah, a lot of great moments in this match. It was I really liked how it was laid out. It was paced and just I thought they all worked together nicely. Yeah. Because I'm pretty sure, didn't Priest say that they really haven't worked, him and Damo haven't really worked?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So yeah.
And
it was nice.
Yeah, and Priest had that gear. That shout out to Scott and Kevin.
Yeah. Nice razor's edge.
Yeah.
On Damo.
God, that's been
so it was good, man.
I thought it was a good introduction for Damian Priest in terms of the people that maybe don't watch NXT TV regularly and watch the show. I thought it was a great introduction for them. I thought this was one of Killian Dane's best matches. And honestly, the fact that they were after the War Games match and they were still able to deliver and have the crowd, invested in what they were doing, that was a good testament to all three men.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I think that's one of the things that NXT, but also specifically takeovers, do so well. Is it's that analogy of wrestling being like the circus. There's the acrobats and then there's the strongmen. There's something for everyone, and that's kind of how these shows always are. Is everything's good, but good in such distinct, different ways that it doesn't feel like you're getting burnt out.
Right. Third match of the night: Finn Balor versus Matt Riddle. Sean, what did you think about this match, and do you think the right person won? Because I saw different opinions for that one.
It's a tough call. Mm-hmm. It was fine. It was fine. You can't just bring everybody over and just beat everybody and just to try to say, see, here our NXT guys are, on the same level. It just... It's Finn fucking Balor, man.
Yeah.
If you're going to lose a match, Finn Balor's just fucking fine to lose a match to.
Exactly.
I don't really think this fucks with Matt's momentum or anything. They had a great match, and it's definitely I'm ready for more of Balor and Matt Riddle.
Yeah, and I think it's a testament to the storytelling that people are able to have those conversations where it's like, okay, which guy deserved to win more? Because I think one of the things that I don't like about the way that people talk about wrestling is that if someone loses one single match, they're like, okay, he's getting buried. He looks weak. But it's like even the best athletes in the world, the best fighters in the world, they lose occasionally. No one thinks, oh, like they're done, their career is over. This is theoretically, this is supposed to be a combat sport. So even guys on the level of a Matt Riddle are going to lose to guys on the level of a Finn Balor.
Yeah.
But yeah, I thought this was great.
And that's what makes you care about the match. Is like okay, neither one of these guys can really afford to lose.
Right, and that's what makes the false finishes so engaging.
That's right, and you're not, one. And it's like because you don't know who's going to win. It's hard. It was hard to call. Like I had no idea. Mm-hmm. I had no idea which way they were going to go with that. I guess if I had to put money on it, honestly, I would have said, okay, they were Balor over.
Yeah.
Because I think they're trying to get him ready for Adam Cole, maybe.
Sure.
Like, is Adam Cole, like, what's even going on with him? Like, after he got put, dropped off the top of the cage. We'll get to that in a second.
Yeah. He seemed to be, perfectly fine on Sunday. I don't know about perfectly fine, but, he seemed like it was a safe bump. Obviously, we'll get to that, but just a hell of a run for him from Wednesday up through Sunday. Mm-hmm. Like going from because I think people already forget. Like he had a ladder match on Wednesday.
Yeah,
and
with Jack.
Yeah. And so the run that he's on is just incredible.
Yep. Yeah.
I think for this match with Finn and Matt Riddle, one of the things that right off the bat, you see both of these guys in this ring and the match is, has that big deal, to it. Like it gives you like a reason to care. Great. Yeah, exactly. Like you care, like, like Finn came in hot. People weren't expecting Finn to come to NXT. Yeah. Right. And so, that's why I think that it was very interesting that both sides that either think that Finn winning was the correct choice, and then the people that were like, no, Matt Riddle should win. It was kind of those both situations where you can't really disagree with either or because I just see the pros and cons of both sides.
Yeah. Hey, so, just talking about the build-up to this, like, let me talk about the TV, the TV leading up to this. Like the whole segment with Riddle and Ricochet, and then like all the schmaz afterwards, everyone getting involved and ending up with Riddle and Balor. Mm-hmm. Man, that was fucking great.
Right.
That whole segment, man, that whole part of the beginning part of the show was just, the whole show was great.
Yeah, definitely. And you gotta think, with as good as this buildup has been, the fact that this wasn't even plan A, right, so to speak, I think really says a lot for sure.
All right, cool. Well, let's go ahead and move on to the main event, which was the men's war game, Team Ciampa versus Undisputed Era. I guess the word that I could think of at the end was destructive. Yeah. That was like the word that I had in my mind after seeing this entire match all come together. Yeah. So what were your guys' thoughts on that?
Well, first off, Keith Lee really stood out to me in this match. I mean, there was a lot of, he did a lot of really cool stuff in the match, and it fit, and it was, it was just, to me, like, of this recent, last couple of weeks, to me, Rhea Ripley and Keith Lee are the big winners. Yeah. The biggest winners. Everyone's a winner.
Yeah, exactly. But they shine,
those two, yes, are like overnight sensation.
The fact that, not to get on a tangent, but the fact that Keith Lee was the last one left in the ring with Roman Reigns at Survivor Series, the fact that he was able to give him the spirit bomb and really look competitive, I think, shined a lot over the weekend for sure.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of going back for a second to the Riddle and Balor match. Hey, so what an amazing fucking spear Riddle hit.
Oh, my God.
Wasn't that amazing?
Oh, the way he kind of twisted off of it. God.
Yeah, and so, okay, now that Riddle's kind of you know, the brands are equal. Like, I mean, is Goldberg going to have any excuse? Oh, he's not on the main brand.
Right.
Like, I mean, it's going to be hard eventually, right?
Yeah.
Eventually, you're just going to seem kind of like chicken shit.
Yeah, when he...
Because, like, I mean, Matt Riddle's, you know...
Yeah. I remember
he's making his name.
When he first busted out that jackhammer, I couldn't believe how good that looked.
And honestly,
too.
I think Goldberg and Matt Riddle have a great match.
That would be fantastic.
Great match.
Yeah.
And honestly, I think it will happen one day.
I hope so.
I really do.
That'd be great.
Like I wouldn't be surprised if it started to shoot and it's already turned into a work.
Right, exactly. But yeah, so going back to the men's War Games match, it's like I said about the women's War Games match. You know, when the spots keep getting elevated, it gets to a scary point. But that's what I mean. Like you said, it's destructive. That's what these matches are supposed to be. You know, I hate when there's a Hell in a Cell match and it's built up to be this like demonic structure, and then it's just a regular match that happens to be surrounded by a cage.
I'm not a fan of Hell in the Cell.
Right. Yeah.
I'm not anymore. Like it was you know, at one point when it was just Taker's match.
Right.
You know, and it was like if there was a Hell in the Cell, it was because Taker was in it.
Sure.
I liked him then.
Yeah.
It's just kind of gotten, you know, I mean,
Is it
first of
because
all,
they
the
used it too
cage is on
much?
the outside.
I
like,
think so, yeah.
You know, the cage isn't even up against the ring. So, I don't know. It's just.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I never really thought about the fact that, like, one of the reasons cage matches worked so well for so long is the fact that they're
You can
right
run a guy into the cage.
Yeah.
And, like, I used to love in a cage match, somebody running me into the cage, and I would take this great bump. And, like, I just loved it. And
Right.
It's like, and then, like, and also, like, I don't know. It's kind of like, you remember those, what was the match that Jinder was having?
Oh, the Punjabi prison?
Yeah. And it looked like bamboo, but it was really metal. And
Right.
like, and it didn't make any noise when you hit it. So I was like, oh my God.
Yeah.
It doesn't make any noise, but at least it hurts like shit when you hit it. I remember Randy Orton even like tweeted me back like, yeah, right? No shit. Because I was complaining about the cage for him, you know?
Right, exactly.
Just as someone who's been there and like can relate to like, oh my God,
Yeah.
this unforgiving fucking thing.
I feel like this men's War Games match really kicked off once Keith Lee came in, because at the beginning, at the start, it was really for me just a match. I was kind of hoping that there was more use of the second ring, but I kind of felt like the main focus was on the one on the left of looking at the screen. But I really do feel like once Keith Lee came in, it really sort of brought that, you know, that more, I don't know, energy up in this match.
Yeah.
And then once Adam Cole came in and, you know, he brought in the tables, I feel like that's what kicked it off. But then the big pop that Kevin Owens got, he's been on a roll with that.
Yeah.
You know, people are really, you know, getting behind him, and really every time he comes out,
let's
it's like
talk
a
about
big
that.
thing.
I don't know why I didn't even, you know,
Yeah.
I didn't even think about that yet.
Yeah, that was a great choice for sure.
Yep. And what a reaction.
Right.
Wow.
Right. Yeah. And it's just a little subtle thing, but even the outfit that he's wearing was the outfit that he wore in his very first NXT match.
And Ciampa, he looked great. I like the fatigues and the army fatigues or whatever, the camo, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
And just, I don't know, like, he's continuing to, I don't know, sound corny, to blossom, like, like, so I didn't even, this guy's been around a while, you know, and I've been on shows with him, independent shows. Totally forgettable, man. I'd hate to fuck it. And I hope he doesn't take this the wrong way.
Right.
Totally, like, nothing bad, not just totally, like, and now look at him, man.
Yeah.
Now look at him.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And it wasn't like he wasn't good before.
Right.
Because he was.
Yeah.
It's just, it was just not, like, I mean, now there's something special.
Exactly. Yeah. He's become so much more uniquely himself, you know? And once again, going back to the little things, the mask that he came out with was the mask that he used to wear on the indies. And so it's all these little things that everyone's paying attention to.
What did you guys think of the spot between Adam Cole and Kevin Owens at the center of the ring, where he was kind of going for the Canadian Destroyer, but then it kind of like stilled and then went for like a back body droppers? What did you guys think of that?
I don't know. I think I missed that one.
Okay, because I just felt like
Was it a miss? Was it?
it was
I'm not sure. Like that's the thing. So Cole goes for the Panama Sunrise on that kind of metal strip that's connecting the two rings, and when he drops down and he kind of grabs Kevin Owens, they kind of like went a couple times. They did a couple pumps, and I honestly couldn't tell if it's because their timing was off or if it's because they were selling kind of the difficulty of it.
Like they were trying to struggle to pull it off.
Yeah, exactly.
Good. I like that.
Right.
Man, like I mean, we need a little bit more of that kind of stuff. You know?
I remember
like everything can't be easy. It can't. Like, just okay, the first thing you do is you lock up in a match, and it's so easy to grab a headlock. And it's like, you're both fucking fresh, man. It should be harder than that to grab a head on somebody.
Right. That's a great point.
You know?
I on that same point, yeah, exactly.
And I've been guilty. Hey, look, you can watch tons of my matches where I'm guilty of the same thing.
To that point, that kind of difficulty, that struggle resulted in one of my favorite moments in NXT way back when Cesaro and Sami Zayn wrestled, and I think it was their 2 out of 3 falls match. At one point, Cesaro kind of catches him, and I can't remember what it was, but like he almost drops him, and he's able to just straight up muscle him back up, launch him up, and hit the uppercut. Yeah. And it was that difficulty that made him look the strongest.
I remember that.
Yeah. And so, yeah, I think you're right. If anything, I think it added to the authenticity. They ended up pulling it off. It ended up looking clean when they did hit it.
Looked painful to the sound that his head made when he hit the ring. Oh my god, like you cringed at that moment, But yeah, it's for me at first I felt like they were getting into position, but then at the same time they had that struggle, which it definitely worked out.
So what happened
better.
with Mia?
This was happened in the pre-show. I guess they not in the. Was it in the pre-show? They showed like a clip where she was attacked.
She was like attacked
why?
In the pre-show. I think just to. Did they say who did it? Because I imagine the logical conclusion is that Dakota Kai did it. To kind of.
So they needed her in a match for the.
Because Dakota Kai took her spot on the team. Yeah. And so I imagine that's where they're going with it.
But they just made like a quick mention to it. So like if you didn't see the pre-show, you didn't really know.
Yeah, because
I
was
so bad for Mia because and mind you, things happen, and we got to do things to advance storylines and this, that, and the other thing.
Right.
But. Man, like she had a bit of momentum coming into this. She comes in and cleans the house with the kendo stick and is fucking everybody up.
Yeah.
The other week, and it's just like, hey, all right.
Exactly.
Let's see Mia get just fucking,
Well, I hope, if Tegan Nox is going to be outselling an injury for a while, I hope that this maybe leads to a program between Mia Yim and Dakota Kai. Because I think they could absolutely pull off some good stuff. Maybe, leading up to Takeover Portland.
Yeah. So why did I bring Mia back up? Why did I do that? What were we talking about?
Because she was originally supposed to be in the match.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
But so overall, what did you think? What did you guys think of the finish for the men's War Games match? Because it was crazy.
That was wild. I think that was
a stunt.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean it's a War Games,
right?
So I mean it's appropriate.
Yeah, and it didn't look dangerous necessarily. Like it was a big spot, and it didn't look like anyone was in any like real.
A lot of trust involved.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
And and also a lot of pressure on the person. That's.
Yeah, especially with
that's job to protect you.
Yeah, with an air raid crash when you're going backwards, like, ugh.
And onto the table and making sure you get the right,
exactly
distance.
And it was the same thing that I thought of when Io Shirai did the moonsault. Like to moonsault backwards into the ring from the top of the cage is just
from the view from the top, it seemed like they were closer to the wall of the cage than they probably were. But from that view, it looked like she had to do her moonsault, like maybe with not so much like. Distance, so that was pretty interesting as well.
Yeah, ever since, Kurt Angle moonsaulted from the top of the cage, like that to me seems like the most terrifying thing that you could try to do.
I thought she was going to do a moonsault while she was laying down.
Right, right.
I was like, oh, no way. Don't fucking do that.
So that was the show.
Yeah.
It was a
Yeah.
really
That
good,
was a great
solid
show.
show, top to bottom, I think. No like lulls where you're like, oh, I'm ready for the next match. None of
Right.
that. It was really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're really. I think they've really got something special with War Games, and they've kind of turned it into and not that it wasn't special before, but I think they're doing it justice.
And yeah, it's hard to follow, but good call. Bookending those War Games matches like that.
Yeah,
Because like two, like one after, not like, or what? Even with one match in between, it's like, oh fuck.
It would be unfair.
Yeah.
right, exactly.
All right. Well, is it what else going on around?
That's pretty much
wrestling
all I
industry.
have right now. Well, in terms of, what we mentioned
Yeah.
earlier and whatnot. But overall, I just think there's a lot of wrestling to keep up with, to be honest.
Yeah.
Like, it is so hard right now with everything going on. I feel like we're at this stage where fans have to pick and choose what you're
Yes.
watching and what you're following. So right now, word of mouth and what people are saying about a certain show, I think is what's going to get people to say, okay, I'm going to watch this and then, maybe watch that, because you really just have to pick and choose
Yeah.
right now.
And so
Yeah,
as great as wrestling is right now, there are going to be some casualties. Like there's going to be some promotions that just aren't going to make it
right.
for one reason or another. And even and as healthy as the industry is right now, like I mean, you could argue it's maybe not as healthy as people think it is.
Right,
or
right.
the other way around, whatever. But it's as good as it's been in years, right?
Sure.
And it's just, but. Yeah, people, especially like, it's going to get more cutthroat, and it's going to be less cooperation, I think.
Yeah.
I'm still surprised to see like MJF on MLW shows and AEW shows,
Right.
shit like that.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm surprised by that.
Yeah.
Does anybody watch MLW?
I've only seen bits and pieces.
They have a good show. It's maybe not everybody's cup of tea, but they know their deal, and
They have
and
good
do it-
talent, very
yes.
good talent.
Yeah.
I think one of the things that I'm curious about is more of the indie scene and how this is going to affect. Like, I was thinking about WrestleMania weekend coming up, and all the indies. I was like, man, like, which talent is going to be booked on this show? Because right now it kind of seems
It's
like
all gobbled
sparse.
up, right?
Yeah, and I'm
Right.
thinking like there's so many shows that have to fill up all of these, cards, and like how like this is either going to be really great for some guys in
It is
terms of
gonna
they're going to
be.
get
Yeah.
lots of work, but then at the same time, maybe for the shows, I don't know how it's going to work. It's going to be really
Well, so
interesting.
they're going to be able to find talent. It's just they're not going to be as familiar with that talent.
Exactly,
right?
and I think that's what necessitates that cream rising to the top. I mean that's what resulted in the new generation
Yeah.
in WWF when WCW raided all of the big names. They had to push guys like you and guys.
I mean, the same can be said recently in the last several years with Hunter. Getting a lot of talent from the indies,
Exactly.
and then having to, build up new talent on
Right.
the indies. Like, and it's all going to be there. Like, people go, oh my god, they took all the talent. Well, fuck. I mean, they need to go. Like,
Right.
you need to fucking clear those spots out on top so other people can rise.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, there's different kinds of indies. There are some indies that just, they just use like older guys, and it's
Right.
not really a thing where they're trying to build their own talent.
Right.
So I mean, but for those type of promotions that are trying to be real promotions.
Right. And one of the things that I've been noticing here for us, for SoCal Indies, is that, there's so many names that are guys that are coming from the East Coast that I wasn't familiar with or I didn't know about. And then I see them on these shows and I'm like, dang, I'm a fan of you. I haven't seen you. I don't know anything about you, but I like what you did tonight. And, hey, if your name's on another show, I might go ahead and attend that.
Yeah.
So it was interesting because sometimes you feel like you already know everything and everybody. And then afterwards you see somebody else and you're like, okay, like this is good. Like it's like a region, like a refresh. It's a refresher, really.
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah.
let's get out of here.
You got any plans for this week? for the
I'm going
holiday show?
to Ron Punches for Thanksgiving.
Nice. That's awesome.
I went last year. Go to Christmas and New Year's sometime. We go over there. Just different little. Yeah, he's my buddy.
That's great. Yeah, shout out to Ron Funches. Love that guy.
He just got engaged.
Oh, nice.
Nice. Very nice.
So, all right,
All
everyone.
right.
Let's get the fuck out of here. See you next week, everyone. Is there anything you want to?
No, I was just going to say, guys, do not forget to subscribe to the channel, youtube.com/xpac. Make sure to check us out on iTunes, Anchor, Stitcher, all the apps.
Cool. All right, everyone. See you next week.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Keven Undergaro, Sean Waltman, and the entire X-Pac 12360 staff, thank you for tuning in to X-Pac 12360.